Hi everyone, Matthew Donovan here. This is the first of hopefully 2 videos that I upload today. So this is the February update for my 2017 resolutions. So let's start right with it, with languages. February, I think, was just a great month in terms of languages. 2 main focuses during the month of February. I spent 5 hours over Skype speaking German. On italki, I found a lady who lives in Russia, but she speaks German, and I booked 5 hours with her. It was incredibly low cost to speak with her, for 5 hours. I found it to be very helpful. Right off the bat, I said to her, I don't want to focus on grammar, I don't want to focus on reading, don't want to focus on listening. What I want to focus on is speaking. I'm able to read, I'm able to listen. I can find those resources online on my own. I can use Link, I could use other tools. What's really important for me is to just have someone to speak to have someone that asks questions or prompts, and then I respond. That's really what I wanted to focus on, is just using the words that I have to form sentences, get thinking a little bit in my mind in German. So in that sense, I found these lessons very helpful. She would essentially ask me a few questions and I would ramble on for maybe 5 minutes on that topic and just use the words that I knew and express what I could, and then we'd move on to another topic. So I found that very helpful, very beneficial. If I were to do it again, I think I would look for a different tutor. I was with the same lady for all 5 hours, but I think there is benefit in switching things up. You have different people with different focuses, different views, different topics to talk about, all these different things. I think variety is a very good thing. But that was German, so as I said, very happy with that. I might start doing that going forward, just spend an hour or 2 every month talking in German just to make sure I don't forget it. But with Czech was huge during the month of February. I spent 20 hours on Skype talking in Czech. Now, I do think I may have moved slightly too fast. A lot of the lessons I was using Google Translate to look up words so that I was able to form sentences. What I found is with Google Translate, I'd look up the word and then I'd forget it about 10 seconds after I used it. This came up all the time. I'd be saying something, so I'd look it up in Google Translate, and then 2 sentences later I'd want to use that same word, but I had forgotten it already. I'd have to look it up again. And if I wanted to use it a 3rd time, I still didn't remember it. So in that sense, yes, it was good in the sense that I was able to reinforce some of the words that I knew, largely the verbs. So for example, I am happy. I don't even know right now what happy is. So I can't say sem happy. So I'd look up what happy is, but the main focus of that sentence is I want to use I am, right? Or I am not well, nejsem dobre, right? For me, the focus was on the verb. I am is sem. I am not, nejsem. Things like that. I can, můžu. So the focus was on the verbs, and for me, just using Google Translate to find the adjective or the noun was a helpful tool. But again, it's just something I need to be mindful of, is if I just look up a word, I'm likely to forget it. So I need to use other input methods to learn vocabulary. But 20 hours was very good. I got a lot of practice speaking. I'm much more comfortable speaking. I'm not afraid of making mistakes when I speak. I have very poor grammar oftentimes, very poor sentence structure, but most of the time I can be understood. Sometimes I'll say a sentence in Czech and then also in English if the meaning isn't clear, but spending those 20 hours, it forced me. Almost every day I was speaking in Czech, and it really forced me to put the time in. I found that on the days I didn't have Czech, it was in the evenings, I'd try and spend 15 or 20 minutes with some input methods, but the days that I had Czech, I was forced. I was up at 6 o'clock almost every day speaking in Czech, and that forced me to be active, and it forced me to put the time in. But during the month of February, I did not spend a lot of time on Link with those input methods, whether that be listening or reading, and that's something I'm partway through the month of February right now as I film this video. That's something that I have stepped up in the month of February. I'm doing a lot less talking on Skype and a lot more of the input methods to hopefully learn those vocabulary words. So we'll see how that goes during the month of during the month of March, but February was just a great month, I think, in terms of language learning. Lots of progress, and from what I know in the month of March as well. I foresee a lot of progress in terms of what I know in terms of Czech. So I'm looking forward to see where that ends up, but that's language. The second goal is, I don't remember the order here, but I'm pretty sure the second goal is to read. Reading in the month of February was pathetic. I'm just going to say it. I didn't read a single book, didn't spend more than 5 minutes reading. It's very important to me that I read. I do want to get through 20 or 30 books at a minimum this year. I think I said hopefully I want to get up to 50. I do want to read. I have a long way to go, especially with the month of February not having read anything. During the month of March, I need to make it a priority, and I've been trying to make it a priority to just a chapter here, a chapter there. Slowly the books get finished. If it's a 7-chapter book, a 10-chapter book, it's about a week and a half, and if I'm reading a chapter a day, that's 3 books a month. So it's a matter of putting in a small bit of time, blocking it out in my calendar. Either that's right before bed, maybe I'll try and wake up slightly earlier in the day, read when I wake up, read when I get home from work. Whatever it is, I need to just make sure I schedule that time. If I don't put in the time, I can't read the books. And unfortunately, that's what's been happening during the month of February, is it was just constantly on the bottom of my priority list and other things took its place. Now, third resolution is more exercise. Running on the treadmill, hopefully trying to get to that position where I can run a 5K race in the summer. I believe that's the goal I'd outlined on my website. If not, that is the plan, is hopefully to take part in a triathlon or a 5K race with the rest of my family. February was another slow month. I put in 1 or 2 runs on the treadmill. It's largely just a matter of making sure to find the time. As I said, I'm a few weeks into into March. I've already ran, I think, 5 or 6 times this month in the first 2 weeks, right? It's a matter of making the effort. If I go down to do laundry, exercise room is right there. Why not run in the treadmill? If I have half an hour, why not go run? I'm bringing down music. I'm bringing down podcasts. Even more recently, I found that Netflix can be downloaded offline onto my iPad. I brought that down once and I watched half an hour of House of Cards. Finding the time, putting it into my schedule, and then really making sure I go down and run, very important. This is another important goal for me, another important resolution. I'm making progress in the month of March. Unfortunately, February wasn't too successful in that front. But this is why I like having these monthly update videos. Partly it's to recognize that I have this deficiency, or there is this area of weakness where I'm not following through. And the other part is just to motivate me, right? To have to sit in front of the camera and say every single month, oh, I haven't done this, I haven't done this, I haven't done this. Why not just do it? That way I have some good news to report. It's a half hour. What else am I going to be doing during that time? If I'm listening to a podcast, I still find it very productive. And it's quite relaxing, I find, to go down and go running. Once I'm down there, once I've been running for a few minutes, I'm in the zone. I'm good to keep doing it until half an hour is completed. That's the third goal. Fourth goal is co-op. Get involved in co-op, see how co-op's going. Co-op is going well during the month of February. January was a lot of learning, a lot of picking up the tools, learning the basics, learning the fundamentals. February is a lot more freedom, there's a lot more experimentation, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work. I'm relatively independent with what I'm doing, so it's just a matter of taking those skills that I've learned, applying them to my work, and seeing how things work out. The company culture, the company atmosphere is still great. It's a great place to work, very inclusive, we all get along. There's only about 23 people, between 20 and 25 people working at the company. Some people don't come in every day, but it's about 20 people that we have in the office on a daily basis. Again, there's a foosball table, there's a billiards table, there's a dartboard. We go out for company lunch on Wednesdays. There is a big focus on getting to know the people you work with. Getting to know them, get along with them. It makes the workday so much more enjoyable, and you're able to get a lot more done. I'm very much enjoying co-op. Hard to believe we're halfway through at this point. So it's a matter of making sure I put in good effort, good work during the next 2 months, but co-op is going well. I'm glad that how that's going. In terms of school, not on a school term right now. no academics going on. Month of February, I did start to take a look at calculus. There's a YouTube channel, Professor Leonard. He's based down in the States. He has a whole string of videos, calculus 1, 2, 3, as well as statistics. I think he has linear algebra as well. I've started to watch through a few of his videos. I find them very beneficial. A lot of the topics I do know at the basic level. I'm not sure exactly how much it will relate to the calculus course I'm taking this summer, but the way I look at it is it doesn't hurt. If nothing else, it's helping to solidify the foundation. And who knows, maybe there are certain topics, certain concepts that I'll be able to learn, practice on my own, and then I'll be prepared come the summer term. I have high goals for the summer term for my academics. I really want to sit down, focus, put in the time required to really improve my grades, improve my average. But at this point, it's largely a matter of doing what I can on the side, fitting it in with co-op, as well as these other resolutions. I need to make sure I still read, go running, learn my languages, but it's a matter of fitting things in, seeing how things go, and putting myself in the best position once the spring semester starts. Finally, last goal here is continue to get involved. February was reading week. During the, I think it was the third week of February, Laurier had a reading week. I'm on co-op, I didn't experience this, but the university was essentially closed for 1 out of 4 weeks during the month of February. That definitely slowed down the amount of volunteering that I was able to do, but I still continue to be involved as a general member on the emergency response team, as well as the promotions lead, working on making new posters for hiring. The new hiring season is coming out throughout the middle of March, so I made posters for that. We're also making posters for St. Patrick's Day and other events like that, so I'm getting involved in that sense. I'm also looking forward to what's next, right? Applying to be potentially an executive on the emergency response team, also looking to get back involved with students offering support. I was an economics tutor and I very much enjoyed that, so I'm looking to get involved with that. There's also another few business clubs and opportunities within the School of Business that have come up. Not quite sure what I'm going to be applying to yet, so I'm not going to name any names here or mention anything, but that's definitely something that's on my radar, taking a look at these things, figuring out what it is I want to do, where I want to spend my efforts. But February was a good month in terms of involvement. I continue to be involved with everything that I will be involved with this semester. It's not the type of thing where I can pick things up really in the middle of the semester. It's more looking forward. What do I want to do in the summer? What do I want to do in the fall? So that's what I'm doing. That's what I did in February, and that's what I'm also doing slightly now during the month of March, is just figuring out what do I want to do next year and applying for that. So I look forward to that. I think it's going to be a great year going forward with a lot of volunteer involvement. I need to make sure I don't get in over my head, but I'm sure a good schedule and proper time management, as long as I'm committed and passionate about everything, I'm sure I'll be able to find the time. That's all the updates for the month of February. They're not in order. I'm fairly confident of that. I think I messed the order up. Didn't have my notes with me. I'll make sure I do that for March. But I love this format, just sitting down, talking to the camera. I can ramble out my resolutions, see how the progress is going. It's a good update for you. It's a good motivator for me. Gives me somewhere to look back on. And I haven't been there yet, but I'm looking forward in December, once the year is done, watching all of these videos month by month and seeing how I progress. When I'm in December, I'll know how everything finishes, but I think it'll be interesting to see me, a past version of me, every month speaking without any idea of what the future looks like. I think it'll be a growing journey, but I think it'll be an interesting one, maybe self-reflective. I really look forward to that. I know even last year, reading through some of the blog posts I've written, past me, knowing where I am now, I love reading through those. I think it's a good marker, a good archive of where I've been. I'm going to continue doing these videos. I do need to work on getting them out slightly sooner once the month finishes, but I'm making progress. The January one was up pretty well the end of February, and now we're only 2 weeks into March, so we are making good progress. But anyways, thanks for watching the video. I'll be back in another month with the March update. Until then, keep watching my check videos. There'll be another one uploaded today. I'll be filming that tonight as well. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.